We are gathered here this evening to celebrate the 80th birthday of Savta, a very, very special occasion. And we have a few very small items to carry out the celebration. And the first item will be Savta herself.
First of all, do you realize that it is a very special occasion for everybody, and somebody who is responsible and who has to be given a great thanks, has got a big hat on and sits in the corner here. So, then I want to tell you that I'm specially dressed the way I don't really like to be dressed. You know that I like to be in pants, like you are, sitting on the floor. But I thought that once in a lifetime, I have, and you can also see that it's falling all the time. So it's not my dress. It's a dress that used to belong to Anita. And first I didn't want to wear it. But then I thought, she will be with us in this dress. Not in this dress, with this dress. And she wore it when we celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. That's all I have to say to you. I'm now giving it over to you, and I saw the table full of presents. So I hope somebody has got the good idea of giving me a case. I have nowhere to put them.
So we buy a
We'll help you carry it.
What?
We will help you carry it.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. Oh, I have to say something else. Do you know that we nearly cancelled the whole thing? One reason was that I didn't like to have so many people for my birthday. 2, 3, enough. But Paul insisted. Then he got sick. And Judy and I said, well, surely we're not going to go on with this. Now we're going to cancel it. And we were nearly cancelling it. But then he became better again. And now, look at him. He was nearly better.
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better. Oh, I have more to say. Out of all these people, I haven't counted, but at least 6 I have introduced to skiing. The nicest thing is that you like it, that everybody likes it. But the fact that you are winning races is because you inherited the genes from the Morawetz. From Okay, let's have a nice skiing day tomorrow, all of us. If my dress falls down, pull it up again.
3 years ago, nearly a century, my father and my mother wrote to each other every day prior to their wedding, every single day. Similar to what happens between my wife and myself. We also wrote every day.
I didn't, you did.
Well, she wrote also every day. And those letters are kept somewhere. And as now my father is dead for half a century, this letter suddenly turned up and was kept by my mother in Ibiza. And Friedel brought it now. So I'm now reading the letters which my father wrote nearly 100 years ago to his to-be wife. And it finished the same, more or less, that our relationship, he also had all sorts of girlfriends. But at that time, she was his own. But he wrote a nice story, and this I want to read to you. He said, there was a fable, he wrote, nearly 100 years ago, that one is married, they shouldn't go on trips. And then he said, but that used to be 100 years ago, it was so that people don't go on trips anymore. But the truth is that thousands of married couples on their honeymoon do go on trips. And so, nearly 100 years ago, my father and mother were supposed to go to Egypt on a honeymoon. But it didn't work that way. He had to go only to the south of France. And with us, it was exactly the same. But only I started to travel on the night of our wedding. I left Prague, Radiště, on the night of the wedding. I didn't have time to stay there for the wedding night because I had so many things to do. And my father was also terribly busy, having many things to do. And so we've been traveling ever since. We've been going in different directions, but we are still traveling, even now as we are. So I think there is something similar between what happened to my family and to myself and to my wife. And so I just want you to know that in one generation after the other, apparently things are much the same, whether it's 100 years or not. Okay, that's that. Did you hear that? Did you understand that? Yes?
Has acquired a new name during this week here in Wengen, the name being Don Corleone, who, as those of you who have seen the films would know, was the godfather, the father of the chief of the Godfather family. Okay, next we have Creighton.
People have been hurling themselves recklessly down ski slopes. I've just been wandering around, and the other morning when I crossed the valley and went up the other side, I found what looked like one of those old Buddhist prayer wheels, you know, the ones that go around with the wind. But as there was no wind, it wasn't going around. But it had attached to it 2 pieces of paper. And I looked at them, and I could recognize immediately that they were written in the characteristic Buddhist calligraphy, which is used by the Buddhists for proverbs and predictions. So I took them off the wheel, and I brought them down to a scholar in the village here, and he translated them for me. And I have to tell you that the poetry, the verse is excruciatingly bad. It's very bad indeed, and normally one would not want to expose it, but it has a couple of sentiments which are very good. The first was a little poem which is in a modern Western form, it's a sort of limerick form, and it goes like this. It isn't easy to complete a limerick that has words that rhyme with Dita, but her fame as a Savta means you don't really have to. Because as a Savta, there's no one to beat her. The second one is, if anything, even worse in terms of its style, and it simply says, if you're going to have a Savta, then you don't really have to go far to discover that she's not just a great mother, but that as a Savta, Dita is a world beater.
It's my turn to do just a very small thing, and I'll need a bit of help with the chorus of this, and I'll apologise for the lack of a singing voice, but I'll try anyway. So the chorus goes something like this. Dita, Savta, Pinky and Mum, congratulations to your 80th you've come. You've given us much, now we salute you. We'd all like to say happy birthday to you. She was born in a town called Radiště, lived above a textile store near the main square. She was a tough cookie, a hard one to catch, but then she met Pavel and he was her match. They went off to India and to Siam. The Japanese threatened it was time to scram. The States was too big, Canada was too far. The next boat was going to Australia. It seemed a bit distant, but with a smile, she said, "We'll only be there for a little while." But what with 3 children, much laughter and many tears, the short while it lasted for 30 years. The chorus comes now.
Dita, Savta, Pinky and Mum, congratulations to your 80th you've come. You've given us much, now we salute you. We'd all like to say happy birthday to you.
During the war she had to save and scrimp. Meat, it was rationed, you could not get shrimp. She learned a lot about making ends meet on minimal wages with a babe at her feet. She taught kindergarten just for a while. With Montessori training, she did it in style. Still, she had one problem with a pupil, you see. Anita kept on calling her Mrs. Mommy. She moved from Pont Road to a house in Thornbury. There she kept silkworms by the mulberry tree. Then Judy came along and the house became too small, so she shifted to Finch Street once and for all. When the weather it was hot, Dita she would go down to Summers to the house of Jelmo. After tents had been pitched and bodies had been stewed, at midnight she would lead us in a swim in the nude. Oh!
Dita, Savta, Pinky and Mum, congratulations to your 80th you've come. You've given us much, now we salute you. We'd all like to say happy birthday to you.
She taught us sport is important, and it is true. She took us horse riding and skiing too. What a wonderful start in sports and fitness we had. I doubt if we had got it relying on Dad. She always loved to read, and we picked that up too. From Gilas and Kirstler to Pandit Nehru, though for luxuries the budget was quite rightly tight. With books we could buy as many as we liked. One day when she was driving home from Plenty, on our road appeared a sign saying no entry. She took down the sign, drove on through and smiled at me. That was my first lesson in dealing with authority. One day after she'd been shopping at a Malvern store, she returned to the car to find a policeman there. When he asked her why she'd overstayed her time, she said, "In Glenferrie Road, I don't look at parking signs." She taught us control your movements, please, and did you say thank you for having me? She taught us some Czech by hook or by crook, like Ježiš Maria Sakramentsky. She taught us to love music of the classical kind. She couldn't stand rock, said it befuddled her mind. She went to the uni, studied psychology, and she did 15 years earlier than me. Oh,
Dita, Dita and Savta, Pinky and Mum. Congratulations to the time you've come. You've given us much, now we salute you. We'd all like to say happy birthday to you.
She's acted as a guide at the Israel Museum. If you've objects of interest, she'll help you to see them. She is doing her part to build the Israeli state. She is identified with her compatriots' fate. She has 7 grandchildren, aged 16 to going on 5. Jono, Rebecca, Deborah, Ben, Simon, Leah, and Itai. She's teaching them things about living and life, about how to get into and then out of strife. She's been Pani and Mrs. and now Gveret too. She speaks Czech, German, English, French, and now Hebrew too. She's been a teacher, a student, mother, spouse, and guide. She's had 80 full years roaming far and wide. Oh!
Dita, Savta, Pinky and Mum. Congratulations to this weighty if you've come. You've given us much, now we salute you. We'd all like to say for the last time, happy birthday to you.
We would like you, when we point to you, to reply to us, what can you play? What can you play? Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3.
What can you play?
Okay,
All right, you ready? Let's fire up. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We are the music men. We come from down your way, and we can play. What can you play? I can play Savta driving. Beep, beep. It's my road as much as your road. What did you get? A horn for Hanukkah? Beep a little louder. We are the music band. We come from down your way, and we can play. What can you play?
I can play Savta swimming.
Baby's only slow me down, slow me down, slow me down. Baby's only slow me down, slow me down. We are the music band. We come from down your way, and we can play. What can you play?
I can play Savta receiving a parking ticket.
We are the music men. We come from down your way, and we can play. What can you play?
I can play Savta playing Scrabble.
It's a Czech word, the dictionary's wrong. It's a Czech word, the dictionary's wrong. It's a Czech word, the dictionary's wrong.
That's my scarf.
We stole it. As you're all well aware, Savta is very rarely wrong. This often involves the Savtoidian theory that rules don't apply to her. A famous incident is Savta versus the detour sign. Guess who won?
David, we are almost at plenty of farm. Ay! That detour sign is in the way. It shouldn't be there.
But don't you think it says falling rocks? Maybe that's dangerous?
Ay, nonsense. No, it shouldn't be there. Now, David, be a good boy and take the sign away. You're right. I do everything by myself.
Shakespeare. way back to the Savtoidian theory of rules not applying to Savta, this was never more apparent than when she was taking part in her favourite board game, Scrabble.
Can I get better than last time, please?
Come on.
It? Well done, Jono. That's 3 points because it's on a double letter score.
That's 2 more than last time.
Your turn, Savta.
Okay, I don't have very good letters, but here.
What's that?
There, abracadabra. That's 40 points plus 50 more for using all my...
Savta, there's not 7 blanks in the game. You're cheating.
Come on, I'm just opening up the board. Come on,
It's a bit of Shakespeare and a bit of Yiddish together,
We'll do it later.
Being a health freak, Savta is not as tolerant as some in health issues. On our recent visit to Jerusalem, Ben encountered Savta's persistence.
So the word is...
Wait a minute. Say it again. She didn't understand. Slowly.
Being a health freak, Savta is not as tolerant as some in health issues. On our recent visit to Jerusalem, Ben encountered Savta's persistence.
Your persistence about health issues.
First morning.
Morning, Savta.
Slippers!
Ah, I see.
Coin drop.
The next morning.
Okay, top, Savta.
Slippers!
I've got to get some slippers.
A couple of mornings later after he'd have bought some slippers.
Come on, I guess.
Okay, top, Savta.
Slip. Ah, they're ridiculous! You'll never be able to pack them.
And now we'd just all like to end by saying something that we all love about Savta, something that we all think about Savta, and so we go in order throughout. With Savta, firstly, I'd like to just get David, Judy, Uri, and everyone up here to stand up. Can we just stand up? Just Judy,
Unrehearsed?
these people, unrehearsed. No, just to say, everyone here has been taught by Savta how to ski. And it was absolutely exciting to ski with her. You know, now that we're skiing quite well and we can keep up with her, so that was fun. But now you can stand now. But I've always remembered Savta as, I call her the snag, the sensitive new age grandma, because I've always been able to have great chats with her. We go for coffee whenever she's in Melbourne, and we have D&Ms, deep and meaningfuls, about anything. And what's always special is that all my friends in Melbourne, their grandma's usually called Mavis, or something like that. The most physical exertion they get up to is playing lawn bowls or a bit of bingo. Well, I can say my Savta skis at 80 and does her aerobics in front of the television and things like that. And so that's great.
6:45 in the morning.
Well, I've got to say from my experience that Savta's determination and strength in like doing whatever, it's pretty correct if you say that Savta always tries in whatever she does. And I wish her 80 more years of health and happiness. Thank you very much, Savta.
I always, when I went to Jerusalem, we always looked forward to having the breakfasts and lunches on the roof. I thought that was really exciting, and so we'd always hike up and sit down and have our picnics. And I also liked waking up early in the morning with Savta to do the aerobics, which is quite amazing if she's still doing it now. So thank you, Savta.
I would just like to say that I am just absolutely bowled over at the amount of information you can remember while you're touring us in the museums. And ask her anything about Israel, she'll know it. And if she doesn't,
She'll make it up.
And something I find staggering about Savta is how energetic she is compared compared to other people around her age. It's amazing because she's always, as the others have mentioned, just doing aerobics in front of the television, and she's skiing and everything.
I can tell you it's pretty demoralizing for me to go down the slope next to you now.
Well, thank you to the Australian grandchildren. That was great. And next we have
Itaiku, come and sit down.
Maybe in Hebrew, Savta will understand and
Just appoint somebody to translate.
it will be translated afterwards, the words.
It's okay.
So we'll start in the Hebrew songs.
אוקיי? 3, 4. מי עדיין לא שמע על הדודה המדהימה שגרה חיה ועושה רק מה שיופי לה מטיילת לכל מקום מעשנת קוראת כל יום עושה תמיד רק מה שטוב לה וזה יופי לה טיולים וקונצרטים זה תחביב מאוד ישן את הארץ היא חורף שתאום על העשן נכדים זה עיסוק בלי די מוזיאון זה הרי ודאי ארכיאולוגיה מוזיקה וזה כבר יופי לה ארוחות רק קטנות מאוד סידורים להמון ועוד תמיד מוקפת חברים וזהו יופי לה יופי לה יופי לה יופי לה יופי לה
There's another. Did you get it?
There's a few we have to have
Here they know the words by heart.
Ben, you understand?
3, 4 דיטה היא דודה מאוד מיוחדת דיטה תמיד על כולנו חושבת היא מוכנה לדברים משונים אלו דברים שאותי מלהיבים פם 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 יום פעילות ודברים מהטבע זוהי אצלה כבר מתכונת של קבע די חסכונית עם הרבה קישורים אלו דברים שאותי מלהיבים כשצריך יד, כשצריך לב, כשצריך עצה אל דיטה אפשר להגיע בכיף וגם לקבל כתף אוקיי, תשים את ה...
So now we have a few English lines for the
sweet. Quando Savta, very impressive Savta, she's running everywhere from Jerusalem in a little car. Very special little woman, stubborn and courageous woman, reading, cooking in between, then to Farubin and back to Tel Aviv. She's always on the way, busy most of the day. Concerts, archaeology, friends and family, smoking heavily. We wish you happy birthday for your 80th birthday. Hope you enjoy your holiday, have many healthy days in many happy ways.
Well, yeah, Lonnie, that was just fantastic. Special prize for all the rehearsing that must have gone on there to have all the words down without, the kids knew all the words without even a piece of paper in their hand. Fantastic. Okay, the next item concerns a very new concept which has come about recently, and Margaret's going to tell you all about it. And computer, what other things can you do with computers?
You tried that already?
Yes, I tried computer dating, it didn't work. No, it wasn't very good. The person I got didn't like the movie that we went to, so she was obviously hopeless.
So we are inviting you to Savta. Savtaland is a place where people can come and select their grandparents. And this is now computerized. And you are seeing that I have a computer which has lots of grandmothers in the computer, and I am looking at the various characteristics that grandparents can have. And here are my first customers. Mia and Eli are my first customers. Now, Mia and Eli. And as you know that I have all these characteristics in my computer.
And we want to choose a Savta. We're going to choose our Savta.
And I am going to enter some data about you to make sure that the computer will make the match. Now, Eli, I'd like to first of all, tell me something about yourself so that I can enter your particulars in the computer. Who are you, Eli? What is important to you?
What's important to me? I'm nearly 5.
Yep.
What's important to me is just to be happy.
To be happy, okay? Okay, anything else you'd like to say about yourself, Eli?
Oh, I'm a very nice boy.
Good, well, I can see that. Very good. Of course, I hope that the parents will pay for the matchmaking, but I haven't said that yet. Now, Mia, what would you like me to put into the computer about you?
I'm shy.
What else would you like to say?
And I like to play with not too many people. Just with few people.
Shy, few people. Anything else that I should be?
And I like to wear nice dresses.
You like to wear nice dresses?
Only dresses.
And could you tell us how old you are?
I was just 6.
6?
I was 6 years old.
You're a big girl, so you're 5 and Mia. Nearly 5, and Mia is 6. Now, because I have all these characteristics of Savtas in the computer, I will ask each one of you some questions. The first questions concern
She cries a lot.
Now, I don't know whether I can put that in my computer.
Yeah, you can put cries a lot.
Cries a lot in the computer. So
especially when I...
Now, you know this, I don't want to remind you, but this goes by the hour. And if I'm going to have to be interrupted frequently, your parents will have to pay a lot of money.
That's all right.
For making the match. Now, I'd like to know whether you are interested in a Savta that plays with you, and what kind of games do you want your Savta to play with you?
I want a Savta who plays just with me.
Just with you?
Just with me.
Oh, but I want one that plays just with me, not with her.
Just with one, each one of us.
No, yes, I want just for me.
But just
for
one
me.
Savta, just for me.
Two Savtas.
No,
one.
one.
Savta. One Savta.
Yeah, she
for
doesn't
each-
need one.
I see. Well, hold on, I have to enter this into my computer. Let's see. No, I made a mistake. Hold on. I have to erase it. Okay, now it says there. Yes, one each. Only one. Okay. Now, could you tell me whether you would like to have a Savta who cooks for you or who prepares meals? How do you feel about what kind
I
of
want to
meal?
have a Savta who shows me how to cook, lets me cook with her.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Mia, cooking.
And
Yes,
cooks the
that's
food that I like chicken and rice, and noodles and chicken.
noodles and chicken. Let's see, I have a Savta who mainly cooks fish. Well, that's
Oh,
what
no,
we do.
no.
No, I don't want a Savta.
So it has to be a different Savta. How about you, Eli? What kind? Do you have any? You want a Savta who cooks for you, or who is with you when you eat? Tell us.
Cooks the food that I like. I don't want a Savta who tells me all the time what to eat and when to eat it and where to eat it and how to eat it. Though.
I have to enter that. That's an important aspect of Savta, isn't it?
Some Savtas.
I see.
I've heard.
I see. Tell me, now either one of you, are you interested in a Savta which takes you on?
It was mine. He took it. It was mine. Savta, it was mine. Where's the Savta? She'll help me.
She's not doing it right, is she?
The rules.
She's not following the rules.
I will have to enter this.
She
into
doesn't
the
follow the rules. She
but
often
she
doesn't
doesn't
follow the
follow rules because she will need a very special kind of Savta who can.
I want a
manage
Savta who
that.
won't follow the rules.
You want a Savta? How about you? How do you feel about rules, Eli?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Savta who doesn't follow the rules.
I see. So
Who
no
says
rules.
whatever it is, the rules don't apply to me.
I want a Savta who takes us on lots of adventures.
Like, for example,
takes us.
hold on, excuse me. I have to enter this in my computer. Adventures, yes.
Takes me climbing up high onto a roof where there's no railing and I could nearly fall off. Takes me riding bicycles on the street and when I fall off in front of a car. It's very exciting. It's a little bit frightening, but it's exciting.
Okay, hold on just a second. I have to enter this because this is lots of information. I am seeing a number of Savtas on my list who have already been discarded. So now there aren't very many Savtas left.
I'd like a Savta who could take me skiing and tobogganing and things like that. Are there any Savtas like that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have one Savta who does this, and her name starts with a D. Now, I wonder whether I can get some
I
more.
don't know what do you mean. I want my Savta needs to know how to teach me to sew.
Sewing.
Doing all the sewing, yes.
Well, I tell you that I get another letter which is an I.
And also my Savta needs to teach me how to tie up my shoelaces.
I don't think I have an entry.
I'd like a Savta who would maybe sometimes give me a present, like maybe a bicycle or something like that.
Whoa. Bicycle, a present of a bicycle. Well, now you know I
Or
get.
a train.
So, or a train.
Or a train.
So now I think that I have enough particulars to find a match for you. And now let me see.
But there couldn't be a Savta like that with all those things.
Well, I tell you, my computer.
But I'm not sure that I want him to have the same Savta. Don't want to. I want to have Savta just for
I'm happy to
myself.
share with her, really.
But I want just for me. Just for me. Because
Well,
want
I
to play
really
just
don't
with
know.
me.
You know, the contract that I had with your parents was only for one Savta, not for two Savtas. So I think you will just.
But he always
have to
spoils the
share.
games.
I don't. Ah, shh. shut up and sit down.
Well, it is really in Savta.
Come on, Mia. We can have one between us.
This is a new experience for the Savta matchmaker.
We can have one between us. Eh?
We can be friends.
Yeah.
But I tell you, while you have been fighting, my computer has been working. And you know what he came up with?
What?
The computer says that what you really want is a Savta whose name is Dita.
Is there one like that?
Yes, there is one like that. And we like her to shoelaces, and you'll get a tray. Okay? This is the Savta that we wanted.
Well, bravo, bravo. Judy, David. Judy.
Hold it for you. Have you got it here? Have you got the box of it? You have to go here.
Tell us what you play. Tell us.
Out of the New World.
From the New World, that's right. It's right out New World.
It'll be later.
All right, so now we're coming close to the end of tonight's magnificent variety show. And the next performer is Ben.
Oh, yes.
Well, as some of you guys know who were here at Sabba's at Benjamin, I did a poem for him. And of course, Savta didn't want to be selling all the fun, so I think I made her a poem as well. And I got the help of some people, actually. I went around to the rooms, to some of the rooms, to ask people their favourite Savta memory, and some of them I've used in there. And so maybe you should watch out for you. Okay. So it's nice. We're all here today at the kindness of Sabbath, but a special occasion lies. While Savta tries to say, "What's the fuss?" she can't keep 80 years in disguise. Savta's a legend, and 80 years old, a feat that's caused more than a week. A feat no Uri or Ossie can claim, and even my own dad, I think. Stories of Savta circle the globe. Everyone has their own tale. If I printed all the stories I've heard, the list would be as long as a whale. I went to Israel before we came here and stayed at Savta's joint, from where I began research on a poem, noting down things point by point. I can't say I was the perfect house guest. Not perfect at all, I must confess. I wiped the wet floor with a towel, and generally I made a mess. In the kitchen, Savta's a master. She dances in there to the tune of her ballad. While proudly I helped her make schnitzels. Oy vey, I didn't eat the salad.
Didn't eat the salad.
Now it must be noted that Savta the driver may bring from the back seat a moan. With toots and bad words we're surrounded. A Savta drives 20 in a 100 zone. Savta's comments to Israeli drivers are amusement from adult to kid. "Would you mind tooting some more?" she'd say. And that's just what the driver did. Savta's a freak when it comes to sewing. While cigarettes may cause some looks, Eyesight may not be her greatest strength, but she listens as well as she cooks. In Scrabble we marvel at marvellous words, and ask Savta, what's your plan? A T flipped makes a beautiful blank, she says, and leaves poor Ben and also ran. She smiled as she put down the word minister. Used all letters, 100 points is the score. And mouths open we marvel her greatness, until we notice the blanks number 4. Savta's strength and determination have been an inspiration to all. To say that Savta's always trying would be close to spot on the ball. To end this poem, I searched the hotel, asking people for a Savta tale. While Tim talked of sweaters and Margit of houses, I jotted them down without fail. My dad told me of a detour sign, standing on the road, tall and true. Dad refused to take it down, so Savta did and drove on through. But my utmost favourite came from 6-year-old Leah, who said her words with utmost glee. I know that I love Savta, she said, and I know that Savta loves me. I think she hit the nail on the head and spoke for everyone here. I certainly love Savta with my heart, the grandmother that I hold dear. Savta doesn't take to all the fuss. What's the big deal, she'd say. To this I say that you're a very special person, and we should make a big deal out of your birthday.
זים, אוקיי?
עכשיו נסתכל על היעלונים.
No, שאלת את זה מצלם אורי. In a supper like that caused us all to be here together for a special occasion for Savta, so we couldn't forget you, and we would like to thank you in a few words.
I run my days precisely on schedule. At 6:01 I'm flying to Rome. The next day at dawn I'll be in Washington. How happy is the life I live. Australia is my base in the summer. In winter time I'm in Jerusalem. If there's a bridge game somewhere, believe me I'll be there. How happy is the life I live. It's great to be in England for a theater, and then to go to Vienna for a schnitzel there. Some friends in Melbourne and family, they always host me beautifully and kindly. At 7 o'clock I open my radio. The BBC will bring me the news. Financial Times and my cigar at 8:01. How happy is the life I live.
One, two.
No.
One.
Oh, thank you, Paul, for a lovely vacation. Winter ski in the snow.
weird.
Come on, up here. What up here? And up here. Photo opportunities, yes. And a round of applause for the person for whom it was and the person who made it possible. Okay. Good. And if the children could stand on the side so everybody can see what Savta's getting. Just
Safer than the road.
how to drive in Israel.
How to drive in Israel.
Yeah, you can buy them.
What's the words of the song?
Is it in English?
Yes.
No horn. No straightforward.
That's the name.
Whose picture will I put in?
The group photos. The group photos. We're going to take.
Yes, yes. Wow. No more ordinary. Just wait. I have to put that.
They carry stuff.
Okay.
Hang on, Leah.
That's wonderful. Just a second. I think I should give it to Mark. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Goes exactly with what you're wearing.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Hello, Matt.